YouTube channel. Welcome to this video. This is another video in my series on helping kids learn to talk. Tips from a speech-language pathologist. We want to focus on various different little hints during this series that you can easily practice over the week and keep on practicing and add the ones that you think are the most helpful to your life. Today's hint is label stuff. This sounds kind of easy and kind of strange. And I have to say right up front that this is more for kids who are just developing verbal language skills, or maybe who don't have any verbal language yet. Kids who are more verbal need this less. It still benefits them, but they need it less. Let's start out with what is labeling. As a speech pathologist, when I worked with clients in their homes or in schools, let's say I took one of my little students out for a walk. As we're going, one of the reasons I would do this is because we are exposed to more things out for a walk than we are in the house. More nature things, more vehicles, more plants, more trees, potentially more animals, depending on where you live and what time of year it is. So as we were walking, I would label the things that I saw with one word, because she was mostly nonverbal at the time, the one I'm thinking of. So I would say tree, and we would touch the tree. And then maybe we come across a big boulder, and I would say rock, and we would get up on top of the rock, and I would say rock. And then maybe we would find a little park, and there'd be a swing, and I would say swing, and we would swing for a minute, and I would say swing, which is of course both the label of the item and the label of the noun that we do while we were on the item. This kind of labeling of items along with labeling of actions is very helpful for our kids who are just learning. It's kind of like if you ever took a foreign language and your teacher had you put labels on the stuff in your house. You labeled the spoons, you labeled the plates, you labeled the door and the wall and the floor. It helps you have a visual in your head of what that word means, and you can store it in more places if you have the auditory signal as well as the visual signal. And therefore it has more neurons connecting to it, and it's easier to remember and therefore easier to practice using. We want this to be the case for our kids, so we are making a visual and auditory flashcards for them by labeling the stuff that's in their environment. Of course, you want to do this around the house as well. When your child reaches for something, use the label of that item. Train! Use the label of the foods that you're giving her. Peas, carrots. Use these words and use them with good affect. Another video a little while back, I talked about affect. Affect is a level of excitement. If your child is a little under-responsive, doesn't pay very much attention to people or look at people's faces, you need to be a little more exciting so that you will draw attention. If your child is a little more oversensitive and doesn't like loud voices and doesn't like loud noises in general, you might have to quiet your voice down a little bit as you do this. Peas, carrots. You could do it either way. Most of the kids that I work with need a little bit more excitement, and so I'm usually a little bit more of a exciting announcer. Peas, carrots, apple. I'm labeling things as we are looking at the actual item. It's going to implant it better in those little brains. They are going to hear it and see it. They don't see me produce the words if they're not looking at my face. They might hear them, but they don't see me producing them. And for many kids, many people, seeing the word produced helps that person be able to produce it better. That is my little hint for today. Label things. Label your environment. Not with sticky notes and markers, but with your words. Look at what the child is seeing, look at what the child is reaching for, looking at, exploring, and put verbal labels on all those things in real time while it's happening. We don't want this to be you take pictures of all the things in the child's environment and then label them and make a book out of it and look through the book every night. That's not a terrible thing. But what I'm talking about is real-time, interactive labeling of objects and actions in the kid's life. Have a wonderful week. Please stay healthy. Leave your questions down below, or you can email me if it's a little bit more of a personal thing about your child that you don't want the world to know about. And I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.